Lighting is so important in our videos. It's literally what brings them to life. But I have so much gear. Sometimes I have so much stuff I don't know what to do with. So when Zhiyun reached out and said, hey, we'd love for you to review one of our new lights, I was kind of like, do I really need another piece of gear? But I had such a good experience, I was like, what the heck, let's do it. So today I'm taking a look at their Molus G300, which is part of their G series of lights. And I previously reviewed the B200, which I really enjoyed, and I use it every day in all my films and shooting. And yeah, I'm excited to take a look at this light. I've heard a lot of really positive things on YouTube, different people reviewing it. And yeah, just unpacking it, I feel like it has a very similar build quality to the B200. You know, plastic composite, but metal in the places where you need it, like the fan cage, the yoke. And yeah, I'm genuinely excited, kind of surprised by how compact this light is. Everybody talks about how small it is, but it really is small. And you know, I'm not going to do a deep dive in all the specs and all the quality of stuff. Like, there's so many people who've done really good videos deep diving into all that stuff, but just kind of want to give you my first impressions and just some fun, practical uses with this light. Zhiyun in particular asked me to kind of do a comparison between their G series lights and their B series of lights, and so yeah, I'll kind of focus on that. But yeah, this light, you know, it's got a good tactile feel with a separate power controller, which the B series doesn't have, the G series does. And you know, just comparing these two lights in size, they're both very comparable. You know, with the Molus B200, it's just the light is just all you get. With the G series, you've got the control unit with it. And, you know, that's kind of where the differences stop. Besides that, they have very similar power output, you know, across the board. Obviously, the G300 is brighter, but they both can be controlled by Zhiyun's Vega app, which is really great. And yeah, I don't really have a ton of negatives to really say about this. You know, the biggest thing is I wish both of these lights came with carrying cases, particularly the G series of lights. The G300, I think, currently lists at $600 retail price, and so for that amount you kind of feel like, man, I wish I could get a carrying case with this, but I don't know if there's cost reasons why we don't have a case with it. But it's so small, it can fit in a lot of places, and so I've repurposed a couple old cases of things to house these lights. And then the one other big thing that I feel is a miss for these lights is they're so small, they're so portable, but they have no option for external power. I would love something like an MPF plate adapter or even a V-mount adapter, particularly for the G series of lights, because they're the more powerful line, kind of meant to compete with, you know, brands like Aperture and Nanlite for their 300 series of lights. So I would love in the future if Zhiyun could make maybe a pro model of this light that has some way that it can use V-mount or MPF batteries. I think that would really kind of solidify these lights and their place in the marketplace, which, as I've tested these lights, as I've used the Molus B200 for a variety of things, I really think that these lights fit well for somebody who is doing small video production kind of by themselves or with one other person, or somebody who is doing like short indie filmmaking projects and they need a small, portable, but powerful light that is very reliable and will get the job done. And that is a lot of my bread and butter. You know, I do video production in the day and I have access to a lot of equipment in the studio, but when I'm running stuff solo, when I'm doing small films and stuff that I'm putting together, a lot of the times it's like you're just sourcing whatever you can get. And so having a couple of these Zhiyun lights that are really good and dependable kind of helps me round out a really good basic lighting kit. So whether I'm doing small interviews or I'm doing like a small short film, I feel really confident that I can get some good results with these. I told you for the last time, I'm not going to choose between you two. The G300 is a great light, and you're a great light. The B series, the G series, what does it matter? You're all part of the same family. Think of it as you're gaining a teammate. This doesn't have to be a battle. It doesn't have to be a competition. Why can't we just all work together? Okay, well, My mind's made up. I'm keeping both of you, and we're just gonna have to figure this out. And so a setup like this is really where a light like the Molus G300 is going to shine. You can get it up high, you can put it in weird locations. It's very small, it's very portable, but it's still going to give you a ton of light. Believe it or not, this is literally 1%. Yeah, and it's just a testament that this is a really well-built light. It's very powerful, and it's kind of hard to compare it to the Molus, the B series. You know, I've got the B200 here, like I said, and I've used this light on a ton of stuff. You know, recently I used it on a short film. I'm planning to use it on a couple upcoming projects that I have, and I have great confidence that this light will do well, and I'm gonna throw the G300 in the mix there too. But you know, if you're somebody, you're looking for your first light, or you're looking to invest in some good quality lights, but you don't want to break the bank, I definitely think the Zhiyun series of lights, I always say Zhiyun, I think it's Zhiyun, but I think their series of lights are a great choice. And when you're looking between the B series and the G series, like I'm talking about in this video, I think there's just really trade-offs, you know, just kind of in terms of size and portability of these lights. They're both very small, like I pointed out. The G300 series lights are a little bit more portable. You know, they're a little bit more modular. It's easier to pack them away. But with the B series lights, you don't have a control box, so it's just literally the head, and then that's all you know, the light is all enclosed. I think either way that you go with these lights, you're gonna be good to go. You know, they're not perfect lights. I do wish that they had external battery power options, because they're so light and portable that you kind of want to take them everywhere, but you still need power, you know, like to get them going. So maybe in the future, I'd love if Zhiyun would update these so they could take NPF batteries or a V-mount option. But yeah, I think they're really on the right track. And like I said, if you're looking to invest in, you know, some better lights, or your first light, I don't think you can go wrong between these series of lights. That's all I have to say, and hope this is a little bit different than your regularly scheduled product spotlight video. It's literally a spotlight, get it? And like always, keep making movies and watching movies, and I'll see you on Reel Filmmaking.